What is going on, everybody? I am sitting here today a little bit excited because I picked up a couple new items. So, two of the things that I got are these right here: the IOGear 2-port USB cable KVM switch. And then I just picked up this webcam on Amazon. Aukey. I don't know how to say it or if I'm saying that right. 1080p webcam. It was, I think, $49.99, and it's supposed to be comparable to the Logitech C920 or whatever series that is. I don't know. I just figured I would take a gamble on this. It had a lot of good reviews. The box feels nice, and I just figured I'll pick it up. And it came in today. They both came in today. I'm very excited. That's the camera right there, Aukey. The blue lights means that it's on right now and it is capturing video, but you don't see anything right now because it's not plugged into this computer, which is this computer down there. When I was working at Best Buy back in like '07, I want to say, I used to sell computers at Best Buy, and I was in the Intel program, and Intel would always hook us up with stuff. So that Intel Core 2 Extreme quad-core Q6850 processor was a beast when it came out. It was an $1,100 chip. I got it for a couple $100 through the program with Intel. And I've had this computer for like 11, 12 years, and I still use it today. And it runs my Pro Tools. It runs my Plex media server down here, my Photoshop. I mean, I got my Outlook on here for work, and it's a beast. So I got another computer down over here that's also pretty old, and you see that Apple logo on it because that is a custom Mac. I had a separate mouse and keyboard for that computer, and I had it in another room, and then I had, this mouse and keyboard for this computer right here, and then I got one set of speakers there that are hooked up into this computer here. So whenever I wanted to use the Mac, I'd have to go find speakers for it, and then I'd have to go get the other mouse and keyboard and just figure out where I was going to use it. And I'm always in here. You know what I mean? Like this is my zone right here. I'm always in here all the time working on something. And I didn't want to be juggling like workspaces. So I got this. And I'm a nerd. I'm a computer guru, so this got me real excited. And what that is one-touch switching. So this mouse and keyboard, those speakers, and this audio interface are hooked into this guy right here, that box right there. So you can see right here, that's where the speakers plug in. Right here, it has one video port for just this one screen, and it goes into these two cords, going to two different computers. So that one screen is going into this computer here and that computer there. So when I push this button right here, my audio, everything switches, and there it is. So that's my Mac. And that's that computer right there. And again, it's also an old computer. It's not new. And you would think that somebody such as myself that, is always working on computers, always building computers, would have the latest and greatest. Oh, there I am. There's my webcam. Pretty decent quality for $49.99. I'm pretty happy with it. And let me get that out of the way because I don't want to be looking at myself while I'm talking. So as you can see, my Windows computer is still on the other screen because this thing only has one video out there. So I can only switch this screen with the button. So if I hit the button again right here, it's going to switch back to my Windows PC. And there I go, back in Windows. Now, what Windows is not good at is video editing. I guess it is. I mean, if you're into Adobe Premiere, I guess that's pretty good at video editing. I've never used it, and I don't want to pay for it and learn it. So, I've been doing a lot of video editing on Mac with Final Cut Pro on my MacBook Pro. So I just wanted to have a second computer just specifically for video editing. So I'm going to keep this one to keep doing my work on and keep doing my music and keep doing, Photoshop and all the everyday things that I do on here. I download movies and TV shows and basketball games, football games. If I go into my downloads folder, and one of the reasons why I got the webcam was for this reason. If I go into my downloads folder here, let me go to my downloads. I have a ton of movies in here. TV shows. Like I just downloaded the whole season of The Handmaid's Tale right here, season 1. I'm watching that right now. But see, I got some Warriors games here because they're known to cheat. I got some Kansas City Chiefs, New England here. I also have the Super Bowl right there, New England Patriots, Los Angeles Rams Super Bowl. I got a bunch of other NBA games here, Blazers, Cavs, Houston. So basically what I do is I download these games and I basically do commentary. So I'm analyzing and commenting on what I'm seeing. So we can open this up with VLC player. And where's that gonna go? Over there. So that's the Super Bowl right there. What I wanted to do is put this into Final Cut Pro and be able to edit it, slow it down in slow motion, and really zoom in and show you guys some things that I wanted to highlight. Long story short, I now, with the touch of a button, can switch back to my Mac, and I can go into Final Cut Pro. And again, it only switches the one screen when I push the button, but I do have both computers hooked up to both screens, so I just have to manually switch this input back over to DVI, and that's my second screen on the Mac. So there we go. Oh, okay, there's myself again. So that's the software that I'm gonna use as well to basically put the games in on here, and then you know, put a little window of myself so you can see me talking as the game is playing. And hopefully, the reason why I wanted to do this is because I've done a bunch of these videos already before, and YouTube always takes them down. Copyright issues and things like that, and they don't want me posting stuff and showing people all, you know, exposing things that they don't want exposed. So I'm hoping that if I do like a picture-in-picture the game with myself, with my audio and different things like that, it'll confuse whatever system that they use to identify their copyrights and kind of bypass that and let me post my stuff online. So this is going to be my new workstation for a lot of new stuff I want to do. I'm excited about that. I got the Final Cut Pro right here. Again, this computer isn't the best computer in the world, not the most expensive computer in the world. I've had it for a long time, but you know, I just recently threw an i7 quad core processor in there. It's not top of the line. You know, 16 gigs of RAM is the most this computer will take because it's pretty old. It's also about, I want to say, almost 9 years old now. It's running Sierra, which isn't the latest version of Mac, but it is compatible with Final Cut Pro 10, and that's all I wanted. And then I got a pretty cheap 2 gigabyte video card in here, which will allow me to do video editing and, you know, screen capturing, webcam recording. So that's my pickup, guys. A couple of key points on why I picked this up in the first place. I've been building these custom Macs for a long time, and I've always had something with them that wasn't quite right. Like, you know, the sound didn't always work right on some of them, or I couldn't get the video to be right. And with this build right here, I finally got everything working just the way I want it. I got sound, you know, perfectly. I got the 2 screens with the video card, and now with the camera, I can do FaceTime if I want to, which I'll never use anyway. I don't really do FaceTime. Even when I used to have an iPhone, I never used FaceTime, but I could if I needed to. And then even different apps, let's say Photo Booth, I would never use it, but if my son wanted to come in here and play around, and then you can do that. So the camera works very well. Additionally, with the camera, I can go into my settings here, and we can go to sound, and I can actually choose the microphone in the camera as a input. So I can choose that. I can also go to my video streaming software here, and the camera works great in that. So if I want to do a live stream on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch or whatever I want to do, I can do that now with the ease of the webcam versus trying to set up my DSLR and try to do a video like that, or doing it with my phone. I can just sit in my chair and talk, and it's real easy. So big pickup for me. I know it's not a big deal. I mean, webcams aren't anything new, but I've never had this capability. So I'm excited to do some streaming. $49.99 on Amazon. This webcam, not a bad pickup. It has a little button on top right there. You can press to pause and stop it from capturing. That's basically the rundown on it. It's a USB camera Works great on Mac, and in this case on a Hackintosh. It's not a real Mac computer. I built it myself, but it runs great. Loving it. So a little bit more detail on this KVM switch and why I decided to get one of these. Again, I wanted to switch back and forth between the computers. I didn't want to mess around with unplugging the speakers from the Windows computer and then plugging it into the Mac and doing all that. So with the KVM switch, both of the outputs have audio, so I can switch the audio back and forth with that button right there. But one thing that I found, let's say I'm listening to a video on YouTube or whatever, I'm listening to music. So we'll play that. And again, I'll turn the speakers down because that's kind of loud. But I got the music playing, everything's good. Now let's say for whatever reason, I gotta switch back to Windows. Again, my one touch button switches me right back into Windows and I lose my sound because the audio is now switching from that KVM switch to the Windows computer. So I'm in Windows now, and whatever I was doing in the Mac, although the computer's still on, as you can see there, I lose my audio. But one thing that's cool about the KVM switch is that it also has 2 USB ports right in the front. So on one of the USB ports, I have my mouse and keyboard combo, which is there. They use one USB receiver. So the other receiver, I was thinking about putting the webcam on that so I can use the webcam on Windows and Mac. But I figure I got all the software on the Mac. The only thing I would ever use that webcam for is streaming. So I didn't really need it on both computers. So what I did with the other port was I plugged in that USB audio interface that my 2 mics are plugged into. My 2 headphones are plugged into that. And then these monitors right here, that one and that one are plugged into that. So what I could do is I could actually just switch right back into Mac and my audio's back in the speakers there. So I can, turn those down, turn them up. But what I could do is in my audio settings, being that I'm back in Mac now, I can switch the output from the internal speakers that are plugged in right now to the audio interface. But you hear they're coming out of the headphones that are both plugged in. If I turn it up, it's coming out of the monitors. Turn it down, it's coming out of the headphones. Turn the headphones down. Turn the headphones up. Turn my mic up. So kind of cool. I'm kind of feeling that with the KVM switch. Again, I use that audio interface for Pro Tools in my Windows machine. I do all my recording on that. But if for whatever reason I want to do some recording in Mac, maybe I want to do a voiceover for one of my videos, I could change the input to not only the webcam, but I can change it to that USB interface there. So that'll pick up my microphones. I think I have them both turned all the way down right now, but if I turn one up, let's turn one of the mics up and see if it picks up anything. Check, 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 check. So you see the audio bouncing right there. So one of the mics is picking up. And if I turn it all the way back down, you hear nothing. So I'm digging this right here, guys. I'm real excited. The Hood Computer Guru strikes again. Small little pickups. This little KVM switch right here, $29.99. It's a lifesaver. It's a game changer for my workflow, so I can switch back and forth between the computers. I can use that same audio interface, mics, everything on the 2 computers. And then, yeah, obviously there's a screen switching. So cool shit. And again, only problem, that screen doesn't switch. Not a huge deal. It's not hard for me to reach over and switch that over to HDMI as a second window screen. Yeah, man. Nice little pickup right there. But yeah, easy little pickups. $29.99 for the switch. $49.99 for the webcam. Switch back to Mac. Switch this back to Mac. Two screens. And yeah, buddy. I'm about to get into this Super Bowl video right here. I'm gonna do a little streaming video, a little commentary. You guys stay tuned for that. I know I picked up a lot of subscribers when I posted my finals video a few years back. and I want to make better quality videos. So I invested a very small amount of money into a little bit of equipment to let me do that. So you guys stay posted. That video will come. I will be able to show you now that I got this stuff here. Got the computer going with my KVM switch. I got the webcam going so I can sit here in the corner and talk to you guys and show you what I'm talking about. Real excited. I'm going to cut this video. It's too long now. Peace.